season finishes today, one way or another, in the next 2 games. Is it going to be the next game? Well, that's up to Liquid and Virtus.pro. Liquid have a 2-1 lead right now after a Drow Wind Ranger strat in game number 3. What are we going to get for game number 4? That question gets posed to our superhero analysts. We have Nahaz, we have Black, and we have Capitalist. Gents.
So he's Stats Man.
Yes.
You're
Brain.
Anti-Mage Man?
Anti-Mage Man, I like that.
Some sort of,
okay.
What am I?
What does that make you?
Pango Spammer.
Is this going to be some They Might Be Giant song, Cap? Or what's Nobody got that.
Well, you see, a couple of years ago, you could have been Anti-Mage Man.
That's true.
Yeah, you look more like it than Black does.
You know what Alan's superpower is?
What?
Putting people to sleep.
Really?
It worked yesterday.
You are
Very
now
functional.
Twitch chat's favorite. Congratulations.
Are you pandering to the crowd, Capitalist? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. What are we going to see then, game 4?
Wind Ranger banned or picked first 2 on position 4. And
But what does that open up? Because inevitably, you start banning stuff that they've shown you during the game 2, game 3,
Well, it will
then you're
depend
going to
who has
let other
first
stuff
pick.
through, right?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
well,
No,
wow.
it's still there.
Wind
The
Ranger
Chen.
Mirana.
not picked first by
Yeah.
Team
They
Liquid.
didn't. No, they can't. They can't.
Mirana ET.
Oh, sorry. They first picked Chen.
Yeah.
What did they?
Oh, first pick Radiant, too, on
Yeah,
VP.
yeah.
Yep, and they've
Ah.
always been picking
There's the
Beastmaster when they had
test.
first
Oh,
pick.
did they ban Beastmaster rather than Chen this time then?
Yes.
Wow.
Why
16
is
and
that?
2.
So they can counterpick the Chen with the Mirana because Miracle is going to hit all the creeps with
Wow.
the arrow.
And you're a hard hero to gank. So
Elder Titan
Look at
good
this.
against Chen.
This is a great adjustment by VP. I think that in answer to your question, Paul, I think the biggest thing that you're going to see differently here is VP place more priority on stabilizing their lanes. And the Chen does that, and the Death Prophet does that.
I mean, Liquid gave him the chance to, though. Why did they suddenly change out their bans? I think they banned Chen before, previously.
So last time they had Wisp, Lycan, Chen.
Yeah.
And
Well,
10 seconds.
Yep, banned, Virtus.pro banned the Chen
or
in
sorry,
game 1.
when their second pick they banned Sky, Wisp,
Yes, and
Chen.
Liquid banned the Chen in game 2.
yeah.
yeah, it's been the first pick team that's banned the Chen, I believe.
Well,
Or the second pick team, rather, that's banned the Chen
Effectively,
all
yes.
3
Well,
times.
both these heroes are very effective versus Chen. We already talked about the arrow killing. Elder Titan also takes advantage of the extra creeps and such. You've got good synergy, I think, with the Mirana. I think getting sort of damage boost is pretty nice for Mirana, whether it's Drow Ranger, whether it's some sort of like minus armor from Slardar, or in this case, ET.
yeah. Definitely damage amplification. Doesn't really deal too much damage without it.
Yep.
It's kind of like a hybrid, right? Half physical, half magical. Early game more magical than physical, of course.
Yeah, and it's important too because for ET, he needs to tank up a bit. He needs a few items to be able to stand there because he can only amp physical damage by standing near you. He can amp magical damage with his spirit. So early game, it's much easier for him to amp the arrow Starstorm combos.
For sure. Nice they were getting banned out second phase. By Liquid. Very strong control here, of course, for VP. Need a frontliner, would be perfect for them. Roger plays a very good one. Wait,
And
is Roger on the Chen or is it solo? It's Roger,
I believe
right?
both have played it. Let's see.
Both played it?
What
Because
a
it was Roger
Virtus.pro
Chen. And
what are Virtus.pro thinking about here in terms of this ban? Why are they taking so
Roger
long?
Roger is their Shen player. Yes.
Roger's a Chen.
Yep.
But
5
then
and 3 over the last.
Still a
10
Bane
months.
possibility for VP then, if Liquid doesn't ban it out.
I think Sand King also pairs really nice with this lineup.
Wow,
with
that's
the Chen. Yeah.
It's a little it's a little awkward for VP in particular because then it'd be a solo Sand King.
Solo Sanking is...
No, it would be a Pasha Sand King in this case.
Oh,
You would mean
of
alternate
course.
Sand King.
He would run
for
a
sure,
core
for
Sand
sure.
King with Chen.
I thought
I
you
like
meant
that as a
support.
duel.
Yeah.
Good point. Good point.
Sanking is banned. So we're looking at the Bane for solo or Disruptor. Probably one of the two.
10 seconds remaining.
Liquid is going for
Probably their second
this
support.
second support.
You know,
yeah.
you've got Shadow Demon Mirana combination, and you also have Shadow Demon Purge versus Death Prophet.
Or Bane. They
so
can
you
pick up the
can't
Bane.
Yos yourself.
Bane Mirana for them, right?
Bane is
Yeah.
good too for them, yeah. I like Shadow Demon too. I'm a very big fan of him. I think he's a bit underrated right now. But against Chen, it's a bit hard in the early game though.
Well, in this case, you would run your ET Mirana against the Chen aggro lane.
Okay.
Go for
and
the
then
Witch Doctor.
You put your 5 position, wherever that is, in the other lane.
Lion.
Yeah. I don't know. That Witch Doctor pick has felt super underwhelming lately since the Maledict nerf. Just very little kill threat early levels in lane
You
now.
can't kill, you can just stabilize. And so, of course, one of the better heroes against Chen. You stun the summons for 5 seconds rather than 1.5.
Another answer.
10 seconds remaining.
Chen, yeah. Chen should be rendered quite useless early game this game.
5
Unless he plays
seconds
like
remaining.
around the safe lane, maybe. We'll have to see where he goes later. The lion pick. It's just like a generally good hero, honestly. It's not really countering anything in this
Okay.
draft. It's good.
Boy, Liquid,
I mean, it's fast.
a little
Instant
bit surprised.
Slark.
Okay, yeah.
They
Slark
already-
owns like all of their heroes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, he does.
Why did they pick Monkey just like
I
that?
don't
though?
know.
There's nothing that really speaks Monkey to me.
They must like it versus Death Prophet.
What do you think? Are you certain after seeing this that it's going to be Miracle on the Monkey King?
No.
10
Okay,
seconds
that's
remaining.
to me.
I mean, most likely yes. And then probably MC on the Mirana
seconds
and Matu on.
MC Murana, and maybe they could do Matumba Man Monkey
it's
King.
interesting. Yeah,
I
interestingly,
haven't seen it, but
before
that'd be-
this event, before that game 2, before this series,
Turn to battle.
the only time that they'd picked Monkey King the last 3 months, it was Matumba that played it.
oh, so he wasn't a monkey.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah. Before that was coming
Before
into
that, it
this
was on
series.
Miracle, though, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And
Game
then
2 was
the
on
Matu,
Miracle.
and then
So I think that Monkey is a bit of a flex pick here.
I mean, it's a flex pick, but it just doesn't.
Is
Like,
there
usually, you pick the hero to counter some lanes or whatever, but right now it doesn't really
10 seconds remaining.
do that.
Is there a core pick left for Liquid 5th that
5
gives you the
seconds
advantage against the Slark?
Well, there's.
Because that's
Oh, there's a lot of heroes
you have
good
the
against
last pick
Slark.
overall.
Yeah, but let's say you pick like a Storm, it's really good against Slark, but you're very afraid of the DP and the line, for example.
Yep.
Like DP and line take care of a lot of problems that Slark possibly runs into.
Virtus.pro.
Brute is banned.
Turn to pick.
Pango.
Pango
Okay.
again.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On
I
board
mean,
with that.
your
Thinking-
lanes are so strong now that the Pango disadvantage is a lot less relevant.
You need some kind of like engage, jump, something
I
like a
think,
Storm.
I think you need a Miracle win the game hero.
Yeah, you need something like a Storm. Even though the
that's-
game is hard, I mean, I'm really confused with the monkey.
10
That's all.
seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get there's like Legion and Axe who can try and counter the Slark if you want to go for the offlane option. I think the Miracle option is probably best.
If it's the
Yeah,
miracle
I-
option, it's gonna be
Invoker,
OD.
Invoker feels terrible.
yeah. Invoker feels terrible. I think OD or Storm probably.
Yeah.
I think I'm on board with this. Of all you've said, I'm on board with the Storm pick.
Storm is just scary against
like
the
the-
DP and Lion.
I like the OD save, but
I don't want to have the monkey mid against DP though.
oh my God, no.
That doesn't sound good. Or maybe they just pull out. What can they pull out? Because right now they have nothing to do with Slark. They definitely need a hero to deal with him.
Oh wait, I guess they could Tinker.
They could Tinker.
Although, I mean, doesn't Slark just hunt you if you pick Tinker?
You have to be very careful where you blink into the trees because there's a lot of little holes now they can run through. So if he ever catches you, you die, pretty much.
Pango's also dangerous.
Yeah,
Pango is
exactly.
dangerous too. So it's either going to be what, Storm, OD, maybe Tinker.
How about Ember?
The lane is not that favorable,
Yeah,
and you're quite
against
afraid of the
DP.
line. You have silences.
Yeah.
So they
Okay,
go for the
they will
Tinker.
go the Tinker. Yeah, that's been their trump card before, but I don't think they've had to deal with nearly this difficult a matchup in either of the games
I mean,
yesterday.
you saw them, like, they took a lot of time to pick it. Yesterday was like more like a snap pick.
Yes.
But now they thought about it for over a minute. I mean, I'm
This
sure they're
is
comfortable
tricky.
with it, but not as confident as they were yesterday, surely.
Yeah, this feels like it's going to be a pretty bad monkey game. Feels like it's going to be
A rough
a
Tinker
hard
game.
Tinker game for a while.
And,
Well,
I,
they're
and
gonna
I'm not
outplay.
even, and I'm not even sure they have the stronger lanes. So,
They got to outplay to win, honestly.
yeah.
Like, they put them in a
You've
pretty...
got unfavorable core matchups. I think you probably have the weaker lanes. Oy. VP.
Okay. VP for Alan. Back.
Well, now he's got to go, right?
Oh, you're going last this time.
Yeah, because
Okay. All right.
I'm going to get insulted again.
Virtus.pro.
I think so,
Okay.
too.
So 2 for Virtus.pro, Black, and you're agreeing, are you?
Yeah, yeah. I think it's very rough for Liquid. They can do it. They can outplay. But just like from this standpoint, it's going to
Guys,
be
just
rough.
wipe game 2 from your memory. That never
All right.
happened.
Okay. Our panel are going for a 100% prediction record in 3 of the 4 games anyway, as we head to game number 4 with your commentators.
Hey, I'm happy to go with any kind of prediction that gives me a game 5. And As we were both sitting here looking at this draft as well, I think we're starting with the panel. Virtus.pro look like they have a very, very strong lineup. That Liquid, the Tinker was the answer they chose, but not the best answer in the world.
It seems like in this series, the team that's able to play faster just takes it. They're both so high skill. The mid game seems to just leave one side with a definitive advantage, and then all of a sudden they're one fight away from taking the game. And right now, I love, like, you saw how fast they 3-4'd Lion Slark. The Lion prevents the Slark pick, which would have been excellent up against, you know, a DP and a Chen. Then they just take it themselves, and this is not quite a free Slark game, but if you play well as Ramses, and traditionally he usually does pretty okay,
Yeah.
I think you're going to be in a good spot.
Well, he's going to start up on the top lane, so Chen's influence is going to change these lanes up a hell of a lot.
It's a great choice, too, because they sniff out the aggro from Liquid. You don't want to put your Slark in this sort of position, and whenever you're playing with Chen, you want him in the off lane. It allows him to threaten mid, and it's easier to play both jungles, whereas if you play safe lane, you really can't move around too much, and you're going to end up just like kind of a try-v-try. But Chen, you always want him able to move.
Yep. Because you got to remember also the coach of Virtus.pro, Artstyle, a man who has done that time and time again for the off lane. It was kind of the bread and butter when he returned to Na'Vi after a long time away that allowed Na'Vi to win for a, well, week. Yeah. But Roger's able to do this and help out Solo and Ramses in this off lane. Mid lane is still going to be the matchup of Tinker going up against the Death Prophet. Then on bottom lane, the Mirana versus the Pangalia. This time Mirana with no Draw Ranger buff up, no extra help on that front. But you're seeing GH looking to fight. He definitely wants to have these camps stacked up. Maybe a little bit happy to see that both of these camps are actually not blocked by the Observer or the Sentry. So he will be able to stack and then get extra damage in through the Spirit.
You're playing with a Chen, so yeah, he's going to just stand in the hard camp. Really well done by him. You can't actually contest him too well as a Lion and a Chen with no creep. This forces Solo all the way, or Roger, sorry, all the way back to get a Golem. But I just love how these teams read each other's movements. He knows the camp's going to be blocked, so he's already running back to his own jungle.
Yeah. And bringing in a Golem isn't a terrible thing. Actually enables diving, bringing in 3 extra stuns.
Look at this.
So it's actually quite a fun creep to gain at the early start. In fact, he's now, he's shattered 1 and picked up another. And now you've actually got, count them all, it's going to be 6 stuns? 5 stuns. 5 stuns in total.
And you can always just take over another creep and then shatter the other Golem, and all of a sudden you have 5 total.
They're looking for it. Solo just needs to gain that initial stun. And they will have themselves a kill. The Observer Ward's giving them the information onto GH.
But this is good because they're zoning 3 heroes of Liquid. Slark got every denial on that last initial creep wave, and now it's pushing back into him. And now, maybe you can actually zone them off this hard camp to get another, a better creep for Roger.
Quite possible.
Look at this. It's exactly what they're doing as well.
They want to come over and fight. So send the Golems up first. In just a couple of seconds, those Shard Golems are going to disappear.
This is beautiful, though. You're just free farming a Slark. They don't actually need to find kills. If Liquid wants to sit at their tower, that's all fine.
How's the bottom lane looking? So Mind Control's at 10-1. He actually hits the arrow. Pasha has to jump away. Mind Control leaps forward, looking for the kill. Leaps again. Got the creep wave with him. Pasha really, really low. He's going to have to Mango to shield crush back out, so he's got enough life to survive. Doesn't have the easy regeneration. And in fact, it's actually going to be a top lane kill onto Kuro, which is the result. You knew those Golems were eventually going to go in, and the Pounce Leash able to connect. While no one has been so aggressive against Miracle. Got him to burn the salve a while ago. And no extra Spirit Siphons up, but has Mango into Crypt Swarm if he can drop Miracle just down a little bit further. And now, actually, it's Miracle. Fairy Fire from no one must be consumed. And Miracle's bottle arrives. No one's got no other choice but to, well, I'll say to back off.
The Miracle Tinker is the big win condition for Liquid. If he has a great game, it doesn't matter how effectively VP's heroes can hunt him, because he can just shove lanes and eventually get to a point where, you know, 4th, 5th item, a Shiva's, a Hex. Slark really, that's what the counter is in this game.
Solo,
It's the
he
Tinker
connects
Hex.
on the stun. This means they'll get the collab. The ET Stomp tries to create a little bit more space, but the Tomato doing some work. Paralyzing cast from Kuro creates space from it. So it's Solo who's the one to die. Not to mention, no, he actually graded himself a different creep, so they don't even get the kill on the Hellbear.
Yep. You can see the Witch Doctor, though. Kuro's favorite counter, now that CM has been nerfed into oblivion, you just stun the creep. All of a sudden, for 5 seconds, Chen isn't really playing with a buddy.
This mid lane's been quite nice for Team Liquid. Like, the fact that Miracle's been able to keep no one at bay for a while probably is the reason, too, when we see Solo rotate in. It's 11-7 against the 17-8 in favor of the Tinker. Stomp's able to connect over on the Chen, but Tumberman, long jump forward. Doesn't really have the extra range to keep up with Roger, and Solo lends the stun from the low ground.
You're okay with this, though. Again, it's buying a creep wave for Slark. He's going to get all the denies in the wave, maintains lane control.
Roger gets a new creep. GH going to go for the stomp, able to control that with the ensnare, and GH, well, very low on mana. Roger's going to keep the body block going, so Solo can follow up with the Hex. He should have that stun available. Yeah, he does. So GH, stun will connect, and GH thought he was the one going to kill off Roger. But because he used the stomp so early and then got cancelled, it's the other way around.
The thing is up top. If you leave the Slark alone against Monkey King, you can't really do much. Any melee hero against MK is going to feel pressure. You want to be able to offensively target him as he has very low base armor, but if you can't kill the Monkey King or threaten him, he just dominates your lane. But his supports run back over. They're going to control the bounty runes.
Yeah.
Pasha gets bottom. Will he get both? Mind controls into a bit of trouble. Jukes the arrow.
Yeah, Jukes the arrow is the top lane where the ET Spirit stomps out. Able to get the paralyzing cast down to Solo. Ramses in behind him, starts with the Dark Pact. Wants to make sure he can pounce away and up to the bounty rune. Doesn't want to really be involved in these fights just yet. You don't have the level 6 as Roger trying to send Solo back after TPing in towards that top lane. Morana's died in the meantime. Ramses cannot keep the chase going. Morana dying actually underneath the tier 1 tower. Pasha was able to grab the rune and charges later, finds the kill.
Yep. That change, now that bounty runes give you a full bottle. He was quite low, but buys bottle, gets 6 charges. All of a sudden, you're threatening Morana, and he's still able to stick around and stay strong in lane. This is a rough area for mind control. You take so much spell damage from Pasha, and your HP pool is so low.
But you were saying during the draft too that Morana is very heavily countered in this game, so you had no other choice but to put it into a sacrificial role.
Yep.
So mind control dying only once in 6 minutes is probably a pretty good thing for him.
Yeah, when you're playing with a Drow, it's easy to just throw them around a mid, but no Drow this game. You're playing up against a Slark, a bunch of silences and stuns. It's a really difficult
smoke
game.
gank. In through the rear, start with the Hex. The Stomp's going to catch everything apart from no one. Where's the Spirit Siphon up? Solo will get the stun off. Miracle's low on life, but here comes Pasha. The Rolling Thunder. In through the rear, going to bounce through GH, jumping over towards Kuro. Pasha already has the double kill. Did they have an extra clock control? No. Kuro into the Moonlight Shadow. Invis and away.
Yeah, great rotation from Pasha. No vision on that side of the map. They know Liquid's been playing top side with both supports for nearly the entire game. You can even see their wards. There's one on the top side of mid, and there's another one on that top rune, top bounty rune spot rather, but no one that can actually sniff out Pasha's on his way over. And as you can say, the rolling, they use so much damage, and the tips come out too.
Yep. Let him know who's great. Obviously, in this case, VP. But Tubberman's going to be careful now. Ramses has hit level 6, so Shadow Dance is up. So that normal harassment that Tubberman gets, unless it actually turns into a kill, it's not that same level of power you were discussing previously that the Monkey King has over other melees.
Yeah.
And this is why we thought the Slark, the draft from VP is so good.
Well, it's one of the 2 games Liquids won, it felt like they had a significant draft advantage. In this one, VP is either ahead or at the very least equal. And who knows who the better team is, but this should certainly be a game to test that. Stop mid, but oh, he barely got nipped
so
by that.
low, but Pasha, hello! In from the side, starts the Rolling Thunder, wants to bounce around in the phone book. Bounces back off the wall into the lane. Mind Control has already jumped forward. Pasha jumps through a little bit further. Meanwhile, up on top, they do kill off Matumba, but it's in the mid. That Stomp, it's going to connect. Pangolier, he can jump away. He just needs to wake up from his sleep. It's the Crypt Swarm. Hits all 3 heroes. Mind Control, one more attack from no one will do it. Mind Control up the hill. He had enough regeneration coming in from Kuro's 1 point in Voodoo Restoration to survive.
Seems
that's
just
rough.
so evenly matched. Like watching the decision making, like I cannot explain to you how hard Dota is of a video game. The critical thinking in such a small amount of time that all of these players manage to output just boggles my mind. There's a reason these 2 teams on top of the DPC, but the first time they've ever met in a major. And man, 4.5 years in Dota, it's my first ever major final. Could not ask for a better one.
Oh, you got it, man. VP want to keep it going good. Smoked up over on Roger. They've got Solo as well, but the team is breaking up a little bit. They now get information on Miracle. This is why GH is hanging around near that obs. VP know they can't just walk up the same path they had last time. Both GH as well as Kuro are babysitting Miracle, trying to get him into, well, at this point, they're just trying to reach him to Soul Ring. He's got the money for it. But the BTs is the critical thing Miracle needs, because how are you meant to turn these lanes around until you've got a Tinker who can be global?
Yep. And something that Tinker needs is his tier 1s. The top one's already down. The mid one's going to be under pressure very soon. And as you said, he's still the full recipe away from bots. Tinker is not the same hero
He's so
if
ready
your
to jump
towers
in.
fall.
Pasha, Rolling Thunder is out. Going to jump in towards the mid. Master Machine's cover's already down. They saw him coming thanks to the Observe Ward. That's why Moonlight Shadow, ET Stomp is down. The Hellbear Smash is the one that cops the main brunt of it as Miracle. Master Machines is wearing off. You've got the stun quickly. Solo being sent back to base. More of the distraction underneath the tier 1 tower.
He got the deny on the Ursa Warrior as he was ported back to base. It's the little things. They do all of them. Great dive, great response from Liquid, the immediate Moonlight Shadow. But the key is that VP Ramses, he's been just playing this top side of the map. That tower is dead. He has total dominance of this area. He keeps farming his own jungle. Now he's going to go for the top bounty rune.
Yeah, she's already got the Shadow Amulet coming on the Courier.
Yeah.
So Claymore is the only thing required. Surprised that she went for the Shadow Amulet over something else. No one going after Miracle. Needs more damage, and Exorcism and Crypt Swarm would do it. No! TP out just in time. Crash and Burns on the gang, but can now turn the Exorcism into pushing in mid lane. AT Spirit coming out, no one. Too quick with the phase boots, moves a little bit further north. Rockets will fly. No one. We'll be okay with this for now. He's got 3-1 charges and we'll get the life back from the end of the Exorcism.
In the meantime, they're still playing both side lanes. And the Slark Monkey King matchup, now that Slark has the item advantage, that's where the Shadow Amulet comes in. You just regen after you pop that invis on yourself. Monkey King can't really threaten Slark anymore.
Bottom lane, Pasha wants to begin. And they already started the rotation, Team Liquid. Monkey King came in, turned into a tree, now bounce up. He wants to go in and down. Angle there, wow, Pasha. Second hit with a swashbuckle into the shield crash, gets the kill, and a lot of that damage, they didn't really find it into the Wukong command, but this disengaged for Virtus.pro. The slap down will be on Solo. One charges don't give him the life, but Pango is able to escape and TP away to safety. Meanwhile, the Tinker was under assault. GH gonna miss once again with the stomp onto no one, but Laser and Rockets, Miracle so low, no one wants to go back in again. He's still blinded, but he'll use the Spirit Siphon and Crypt Swarm to do the work, and then looks over towards GH, won't have that, gets the silence, he will onto mind control. Hello! Solo has arrived once again. Now get the stun and the control. And Death Prophet sent back by the Chen.
Yep, for the 5th or 6th time this game, an ally gets that free trip back to base, and that little efficiency adds up. It's 20, 30 seconds where instead of running back, now you just heal up, pour it in immediately.
Well, you already poured it in to go for that kill, so you will have to walk back for this. But it's still, as you said, good efficiency nonetheless.
Better a one-way ticket than none at all.
Yeah. Ramses is now on the hunt. Shadow Blade is completed.
Yep.
He's in the dire jungle looking for anyone that's trying to farm up, and you know what he's going to be looking for. Yep. He's looking for the Tinker.
And there's a ward on
Bottom
him.
lane, Pasha's on the run. The slap down's good, and with the Maledict, they have that kill. Pasha, no matter how far you jump away with a shield crash, he's going to try and Rolling Thunder. Dodge the damage. Miracle. There's the catch out over on Ramses, and he gets out of the Master Machines to survive, and Pasha just Rolling Thundered off any bit of damage from the Maledict.
Yep. Great ward. Solo on point once again. Gives vision to the shrine area. And what do you know? Slark does that great move where you cut through the tier 2, tier 3 of Dire at nighttime. Immediately finds the Tinker. And look at Miracle's net worth, man. He's 500 above Chen. He's 0-4.
Yeah. And it's the critical thing, like, it's the items. You got Bottle, you got Soul Ring, but without the BTs, there's no way he can turn into recovery yet. He needs to be able to move in and out of the base freely to the front lines. But even doing that, now that Slark has had such a great start, like, he's going to get hunted. Solo's going to hit level 6 soon, so you get the burst damage from him. No one's going to be pressuring the lanes because the Death Prop is just so powerful. Almost a Yule Scepter for her. I love Pasha. He's just gone for this casual Javelin. Not even finishing it up, and then going to go into the Blink Dagger. All about positioning now. He's got 1,300 gold. Ramses walks up, finds Matumba. Matumba tries to hide himself as a tree, goes into the Wukong command, but Pasha has already taken him out. Now you go into Song of the Siren. All right, no, it's Rolling Thunder. Everyone just looks like they were asleep. It's basically the ET work. Pasha rolls forward, gets the stun over on Kuros. They've got the control, they've got the kills.
Dude, that Javelin just paying for itself already. So cheap, and it gets the proc chance on every swashbuckle hit, so If you get lucky, sometimes it's a easy 200 bonus magical damage, and your Q and W already do so much.
That bottom tier 1 tower too was denied.
Yep.
So
no
Liquid
gold.
don't even get the gold from it.
Yeah, in the meantime, Roger's just dominating the top half of the map. He places a ward. There's one of the best wards you can place in this top dire area of the map. You see the shrine, you see the tower. So much control.
With all this
Look at
control, Miracle, yeah, here we go again. Here's the ultimate question. Will Miracle be able to afford BTs by the end of this game?
He'll get
Because
them eventually.
at this ganking rate is going to be difficult. Okay, by 20 minutes.
This is the thing. This is a Slark game where if you're ahead, it is free. The only way Ramses is going to dive is if he makes some sort of mistake, because right now they just don't have the lockdown to take him out. Everything is purgeable. The thing they needed was a Tinker Hex. That's a long, long ways away. The Mirana Invis comes out.
As Moonlight Shadow going to close the distance onto Roger. Miracle's right on top of him. I don't know if he wants to do anything with it. Miracle's got some help coming. Moonlight Shadow, it's just the full setup. All the information they need. They can catch out Roger, slap down, and they have Magical Burst. Goodbye, Chen. But also, goodbye, Mirana.
Yep, as soon as that pounce lands, that's a dead Mirana. Entire game.
I think they may have really wanted to give that kill over to Miracle on the top. He needs that money. He needs those BTs. Putting it into the Monkey King is going to help a Desolator build from Matumba.
So even though Roger goes down there, his pressure up top, just thanks to the creeps, not only do you do a little bit of chip damage to the tower, but it forces the supports of Liquid to go and recover that lane. Look at how much space it buys.
Goodbye,
Slark.
Koro.
Yep.
2, 3, 4 hits, and that's through Voodoo Restoration.
And this is what VP wants to do. They get this mid tower for free just thanks to all the pressure around the map. And when the waves are cleared, Slark can immediately run onto the enemy side of the map and hunt. And he's going to continue to be successful because, again, there's no counterplay to him. And he kills almost everyone on Liquid in a pounce.
Miracle is ticking out the gold. 1 gold at a minute to get the BTs. He was sitting in base for a little bit just because he knew if he went out and got killed by the Slug, he would just be, be kicking himself. And now he's still just sitting here with BTs available, wondering where is it safe to go. There's currently no options for him.
I mean,
Could D-ward at least for GH. So he'll get rid of that observed ward that's inside the Dire jungle, and they got rid of the other obs, which was watching over the Trinity camp on the bottom.
VP, look at this. Invis mid on solo. Looking for a setup. There's a sentry down already.
Arrow's going to be off target. Death ward's too far away. The wands keep him alive. And he hit him with the Starstorm. Infused Raindrops, bottom lane, Miracle. Well, I said like he was looking for an option, something he could do. ET Spirit comes in as well as the clap, but Pasha so quick to get away. Already has that Blink Dagger. And he's being sent back. Katipi out, Finger of Death. Did that increase the armlet charge?
I mean, the Penitence comes out first and then the Finger on top. You can see he's just waiting for it. 36% increased damage. Throw in a nuke for 600 or 600
Pasha,
magical
he
damage.
just jumped straight into him. He's in the middle of 3 heroes. Ramses is here as well. Will jump in through the rear. Does Pasha have enough life to survive? Of course he does. He turns around for a 3-man swashbuckle. The damage is so high. Mind Control against the TP. They have the damage to kill him before the TP can complete. And GH trapped in the trees. The penitent man shall not pass. Ramses, a triple kill for this Slark. And this is going bad to worse to severely troublesome.
How to beat a Tinker 101. Gank him in lane, kill his towers. All of a sudden he's playing catch up, and instead of being able to aggressively shove lanes, he's just desperately trying to go wherever you are not. And there's so many heroes that can hunt him. Now Solo's up top. I'm sure there's another teammate ready to TP as well. And he finds this disable.
What's going to happen once the Blink Daggers are up? And Solo, he just walks in, starts with a Hex. The Death Prophet is coming over. Solo's taking way too much damage from the March of the Machines. The Rocket will connect. Miracle. He still has rearm and more than enough mana to get back to base, so just a little bit late in the VP support.
See, it's a good play from Solo, but Miracle recognizes that if he sits still, he's going to catch that stun, repositions, and while he does get CC'd, drags Solo even further into the march, ensures he stays alive. Probably a little over-aggressive from Solo, but even though he died, his team just went up another tick on that gold lead from 11 to 12K.
Yeah, it's with the death of the Tier 1 tower on bottom. Attempted denial was there from Mind Control, but there was too much of a creep wave, just pushing him in with all these Tier 1 towers. Real estate on the Team Liquid side of the map is getting very limited.
Slark mid.
Yeah, hunting again. Echo Saber is up. Wondering too, like with his item build, like Kuro's always had the upper hand when it comes to vision. Against the Slark, that's real difficult to do. Do you get the early gem onto Ramses? Do you make it so Liquid are blind?
You can't. You're not able to take a team fight. I think if you get lucky, maybe VP buys a gem and you can steal it, but that seems unlikely.
No, I was thinking from VP, like actually putting it on the Slark, getting rid of all of Kuro's vision.
Too risky. You don't want to give Liquid the chance to have it back. You wait. Maybe with Aegis, you can get one.
Okay. 4-man smoke up. Miracle's hiding inside the tree. Solo knows exactly where he is. They have the observer board looking for it. Jump down. That tree is tree-on-tree action. Matumban going to go into the ultimate. Roshan so low. It's killed by the Radiant. Ram gets the Aegis, the Immortal. Mind Control's going to die so quickly. Kuro directly after him. No one's the one with the double kill. Using that Exorcism to find exactly what they need. TP back. Chen's able to survive. Solo, man, I can't believe he's alive. 19 HP. Matumban can't even kill off the Lion. He's tried so hard. But GH is also going to die too. Triple kill for no one. Miracle can at least push out the mid lane, but 23 to 5, 14k advantage. The Aegis wasn't even burned on Ramses, and he's got 3.3k gold after that fight.
Yeah, I can't even tell you what item he's going to buy because there's a lot of options in this kind of game. No, not that one.
Sustain is all he probably needs.
Yep. They're going to get 4 bounty runes once again on VP. And this is the dominance. This is why this mid-game is so important, because the 15, 20, 25-minute bounty runes, the Roshan, there's very little objective gold anymore. Tower gold was nerfed. Like, hero kills are nerfed. It's just getting these bounties.
You see also VP itemizing to try and finish the game. Pipe of Insight now completed over on no one. So a large amount of that damage that you're trying to find from the Tinker or the Mirana is now just going to be heavily negated. And this allows them to go high ground. Obviously, we're only 21 minutes into the game.
Yeah, they
and the Slark is still a
first.
picker. Yeah. But it feels like that's the kind of momentum they're itemizing for. And Ramses found a target. Leap. Well, at least walks out of the leash.
Thing is, it's still hard to just walk into Liquid's towers. They have the Tinker to spam March with the Blink now. You can catch a Mirana arrow like ET, Tinker, Monkey King. It's very difficult to just walk into the Thunderdome when these teams set up.
Pasha. Well, up goes GH. Pasha having that disabling Yule Scepter will kill off GH. Yep. They were looking for a fight in mid lane VP as well underneath their own sentry, but Liquid never obliged.
And it's risky because you see the ET build 4-2-0. He has max level stomp. He hits that on 2 or 3 heroes, arrow to follow. Never know what could happen. Just keep finding pickoffs, skirmishes, control the map, control the bounties. BKB Ramses, here he comes.
Yeah, straight through the rear. Ramses, 3, 4, with the Dark Pate, takes the kill. That's a perfect rolling thunder to isolate both Miracle as well as Matumba. They both got hit by this.
That was so cool from Pasha too. He bought the Yules, self-Yules on top of the Tinker so that his Rolling Thunder would hit again after he had already positioned himself on top. Then immediately, QW, Tinker's dead. No one, of course, with the silence on top, but really wasn't even necessary. He's still got his ultimate ready to go, and you might just threaten high ground here.
Yeah. You've pipes burn in 35 seconds, and the Observer Ward. They saw where Matumba was. They didn't break the tree, however. So he only got the stun from the Earth Spike, but Ramses wants to be that frontliner again. Let no one's Exorcism do the work. The Chen creeps are holding back for the moment.
I like the positioning. You don't want Monkey King to get a free ultimate off to defend his tower. Tinker's still dead.
ET Spirit can't find the stomp is exactly looking for. They at least have the stuns and silences over on the Death Prophet. But Exorcism just out of range. Ramses jumps in. The tier 3 tower is so low. No one just wants the end of Exorcism to do the work. Fortification is available for the dire side, but do you really want to burn it for the very last moments of your mid-tier 3 tower, which they could just... Like, it's in deny range already. It's that low.
What can you do? You see Roger also changed up his item build, recognizing just how far ahead they are. Instead of saving for an Ags, he picked up the mech.
They're TPing out already. Solo wants to pick up the Blink Dagger, so they need to give him the top lane. And there's the ping. Tinker's TPing it out, TPing out, but then again in mid lane, you thought they were out, but the jump comes forward from the Slark, right on top of Mind Control. Wukong command by Matumba, at least he's got the back lines of BP. And okay, no, he's got nothing. He's got absolutely nothing. He's got everyone from BP killing him. Doesn't even matter when the line disappears. Ramses leaps over the hill, finds Mind Control and puts him far, far away. The tier 3 tower is gone. Now they've burned the fort. And GG. Not even 24 minutes on the clock. And we are going to a Game 5 in this grand final. Woo!
Could it happen any other way?
No, that was stylish. That was total stylish. That's a stylish dunk, but no.
Man, that was a toss off the backboard to yourself. And I have a sinking suspicion that he might have just been trying to get up onto the high ground and found a Mirana for his troubles. But, you know, I'm going to give credit where credit is due. Incredible game by Ramses. Flawless performance, 12-0-7. And VP just walk to victory.
Yeah, solid draft. Ramses, yeah, 0 deaths. Like, the only ones that died were the 2 supports. It was 3 deaths for Solo, 2 deaths for Roger. 12-7-7. Ramses, no one Pasha, respectively.
And we said it'd be a hard game for Mirana. He finishes 0-7-0.
Yeah.
And I can't even blame him, to be quite honest. That was just a clinical performance. VP just with measured aggression, and it just seems to be the tale of this series. Whoever controls and dominates the mid game, they're too good. They're going to sit on that lead as it grows until eventually they get the one fight.
It's such a swinger series. We're going one way, then the other. Does that mean that 5th game is going to be the most epic clash you have ever seen? God, I hope so.
Yep, I'm sold. The fact that we even get the very last major of the season, go all 5 games between the 2 best teams of the entire season, couldn't get any better than that, could it? Let's wrap up on Game 4, first of all, with Capitalist, Nahaz, and Black back at the panel. Gents, you're 100% right in 75% of the games in the grand final. Well done.
Y'all just listen to me about VP. We could be 100% right now.
The first in the history of Dota, Alan. There's a stat for you.
Never been done in the history of Dota. You know, as impressive as Liquid were in Game 3, Alan, Virtus.pro were in Game 4, but the draft played a big part in this one.
I think the draft played a big part in all the games of the series. Game 2, to me, is the only game that might have gone arguably against draft. But 3 out of the 4 games have been, I think, a decided draft advantage, especially the last 2 to one side or the other. And these are teams, you give them any kind of advantage in the draft, and they're just going to walk all over you.
Yeah. Cap, what do you make of that?
It is truly incredible. Like, once you get these sort of leads, we've talked about it in this tournament, like the bounty runes.
Yep.
Like, that was a big change, and when you hold that map control, you just build and build and build. You've got the double runes at a certain point in time, even if none of these games have actually gone to that point, right? It's still a point of factor when you do control the game like that. You've got the Roshan advantage, where Roshan is stronger. The second Roshan gives you cheese, whereas it used to be the third Roshan. There's all these earlier game advantages to the team that is in control of the game, and we're seeing the lineups reflect as such. I feel like only the Game 2 draft really had that, maybe the comeback potential that was viable. I think the other games where the team had like the better early game or whatsoever, and you have this maybe late game advantage, like the Morphling draft from last game, it was just like, well, look at the rest of your heroes. You're going to get run the hell over. So hopefully for Game 5 we'll have an even draft on our hands, and we can actually run the full gauntlet of a game.
Yeah, this was probably the biggest outdraft out of all 4 games. I think it's bigger than Game 3 even, honestly.
I think it's a tough comparison to make.
I mean, it is, but it's like, I don't know, there's just way more room for mistake for me in these kind of games.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Because like in the draw game, draw lineups make mistakes like once or twice, you're in a difficult position. But in this game, you have like superior late game as well.
See, I think you're basically right there, but to me, what sticks out more is that I think VP has just played better for most of this series. And I think one of you guys made a comment to that effect in the last game, that if you switch the roles, you feel like VP would have been more clean in finishing off that draw game. And I think that's exactly what we saw here.
Yeah. And they have but then again, to counter your point, Black, that means no Drow Ranger will be, like, no Drow Ranger draft will be the biggest outdraft, right?
Yeah.
Because all lineups from Drow Rangers are inherently fragile.
Yeah, if you look at it from that point, yeah. But it's just, you gotta be very clean when you play draw games. When you play like DP, Slark and stuff, you kind of use your ult. Okay, it didn't work out, you go back. You don't really throw anything away.
This game could stretch on another 20 minutes. You would still be feeling very comfortable if you are Virtus.pro, because you have the Slark scaling into late game. Exactly. You have this Monkey King. My God, like that's what we kept going back and forth. Like me and Black are just sitting here. We're like, what about the Monkey King?
How is
like,
he gonna have a game?
I did not understand that pick at all. Like they just picked it against it wasn't good against anything at the time, and it's not just an open pick that you can draft like that. There's a reason we haven't seen it a lot, and it was shown in this game.
It's shown on the scoreboard right now. In fact, Kuro with no kills, Mind Control having a very rough game on that Mirana 0-7-0. Trying to go for the Malk Award, I think, at some point. The GH162, it doesn't look good. But the other side of the scale, look at the positive. Rams is 12-0-7. No one 7-0-8 and plenty of smiles. And Pasha 7-0-11. Roger also in on 17 of the 30 kills as well. So MVP, gents. We'll give this one to Black. You can pull out one here.
I think Pasha, he won his 1v1 lane.
I'm there.
I've actually never seen Pango solo kill anyone before level 6, but this game it happened. His rotations were spot on. His ults were really good. He avoided deaths with his ult. It was pretty flawless.
Yeah.
Not
All
much to
three
say about it.
cores obviously had flawless games,
Yeah.
but I think Pasha was the... I love the fact that he goes for the Javelin build. I was talking to Black about that. The Arcane Boots and a Javelin for this game, I think, is very important, just because of the fact that he needed to run around and be a killer, and he needed a bit more damage. And the fact that he goes for that, and he just runs around and he's killing everything, I think that was just the perfect build-up for him, understanding. Whereas you see a lot of these other Pangos just go purely for the sustained build. Having that early damage in a game like this is very important.
Also want to point out that First Pick has won all 4 games in the grand finals. And you look at, again, you just look at the last 2 games for what we've been saying all along. There was really no core pick for VP that was going to save their early game against the Drow draft. And you could see Liquid taking all that time, deciding on the win me the game hero for Miracle, ended up being the Tinker, which had worked twice in a row. But I don't think there was a hero for Miracle there that was going to win Liquid that game.
All right, we're going to get more from all 3 after the break, but that's where we're heading right now. It is the final break of the entire tournament, because next up is game number 5 of the grand final of the last major, of the last event of the entire season. Don't go anywhere, you won't want to miss this one.
I don't wanna play this game. Every time I hear your name, so good, so good, so good. It's something that I can't explain. I don't wanna play this game. Every time I hear your name, so good, so good, so good. So good, so good.